Ready?
Oh my God! Your truck did a wheelie, by the way.
In this binder right here lies something so important. I finally received it after nearly 7 painstaking months of what seemed like a never-ending battle. My friends, right here is the key. It's the token. It's what allows us to do something that we've been talking about, that I've been annoyingly mentioning over the last 7 months, to finally begin. Any guesses? To my OGs, do you guys know? To my loyal subscribers, I know you guys are out there that are very attentive to the details. Any guesses? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? In here, boys and girls, is a packet of papers. But not just any papers, my friends. These papers, they are yellow and pink in nature, and they are the token for me to build on my own property. Yes, the property that I'm paying for with the money that I earn, that I'm not allowed to build on without the permission of the local municipality. I know I've been talking about the fact that we are so close to get to the building, and this is exactly what I was alluding to. We've been working painstakingly on the back end to ensure that all of our ducks are in a row so we can satisfy the needs of the township, and finally we have it. Truthfully, it wasn't that bad of a process. Everybody was very kind. I got to know a lot of the people that work over there. They're very, very nice individuals. It's just the bureaucracy of things, and I don't tend to be the most patient person in the world, so that was definitely a test to my personality characteristics. But we finally got it, guys, and that means that the shop build is going to be underway starting right in the beginning of July, and I'm so excited about it. I just can't believe the day is finally here. Felt like it was never gonna happen, honestly. Drop a comment below. Have you ever worked through trying to build a house, a pole building, a garage, an accessory structure, a pool, put chickens on your property? It depends on where you live, but drop your stories below and let me know how long it took you to secure the permits you needed to get done what you wanted to get done on your own piece of property. So we're en route down to the shop right now. Jake's down there getting 8-ball prepped and ready to put some bus lengths on this kid that thinks that he's got a fast single cab, but little does he know that thing is slow compared to our good friend over here, 8-ball. And you know what, 8-ball, it's his time to shine. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't follow me on Instagram, and I do have a problem with that. If you don't have Instagram, then it's not your problem. But if you do, and you guys haven't followed me over there, what are you doing? Head on over to Instagram right now. Gabe and I have been going back and forth on Instagram for a little while now with some oh-so-friendly competition to show him what a fast truck actually is. Oh man, guys, you have no idea how good it feels to have Convict back. I really felt like so much of me was missing without this rig, and dude, I just have a smile from ear to ear driving her around town, and boy oh boy does she look just so aggressive. We got Jake from Enthusiast working on a brake change. Should we tell him about how you became an expert at changing brakes when you didn't even have to change the brakes that you became an expert on?
Let's not talk about it.
You know the F-150 that Jake used to drive around all the time? Well, it was making this really odd noise, and he just felt very pure in his intentions to change the brakes, because that was the source of the issue. Well, come to find out, I believe there was just a loose heat shield that was behind his brakes that was causing the issue, when he had actually bought all new brakes, rotors, and this man bought calipers, and switched them all, and then the noise still persisted. Jake, do you have a comment about said allegations?
I have a 13 mil.
To say, Jake became an expert at doing brakes when he didn't even want to become an expert at doing brakes. 8-ball needed new rear rotors and brake pads really bad, like really, really bad. It may or may not be due to some guy that has this obsession with doing rolling burnouts and power braking burnouts. I have no idea. It's something along the lines with like the previous ownership history. It was a farm truck, you know, when we first bought it, so it all makes sense. Got all the stopping power we're gonna need now that the brakes are actually worthy of doing their job. Those power boosted burnouts are a lot of fun, but man, I'll tell you, they rip through brakes just a little faster than the estimated life expectancy calls for. So Gabe's planning on coming down here. We're gonna have some fun down in Mexico in the next video, so if you guys are excited about that, definitely stay tuned. And if you're from Gabe's channel, yeah, we're sorry, we apologize. We hope you consider sticking around. And if you want to go check out Gabe's channel, I'll link it in the description below. It's always cool to be able to link up with other YouTubers and stuff like that. We don't really collaborate all that much on this YouTube channel, but when opportunities come around, it's awesome and I love to take advantage of them. One of the big reasons you don't see me collaborating frequently with other YouTubers is genuinely because we are littered all over the nation. And truthfully, guys, as a new father and a married man, husband, etc., it's just kind of hard to step away from my family. I'm a little bit more of a homebody. I love to travel. I love to get up and go. I don't really like flying, so driving is much more preferred. But we typically have a lot of stuff going on here in Pennsylvania, which kind of keeps me somewhat grounded, which I'm okay with.
Organization about it. We go through a lot of gloves, way more gloves than we should. Who's missing their gloves? Jake or Jack?
I wonder who it could be. And that brings us to the LML. My friends, we're gonna be getting a lot of parts back for this build to continue the OG 2.0 transformation, probably starting this upcoming week. We did just get confirmation from our homie down at Peach Bottom Auto Body, aka Sean, the Chrome Delete King, and the axle is officially painted. I cannot wait to show that to you guys and get that thing back on this truck. That brings us to all the other paint match goodies that he is currently working on, and we're doing a very tasteful mod to this truck that the original OG actually had as well, and it's gonna just make this thing pop. I'm so excited. And we're very much still doing our best to be patient for all of the powder coating that's taking place with the mods. We got everything that we needed from Cognito. Those guys are quick, man. We ordered it and within 2 days it was sitting at my front door, which is absolutely awesome. So shout out to Cognito Motorsports for getting us the rest of the 4 to 6 inch lift that's going on the OG 2.0. I know this thing's been kind of somewhat chilling here, literally, because it's not going very far, but believe me when I tell you, I cannot wait to get back into that build very, very soon. Speaking of, I've been so unbelievably busy that I haven't even had a chance to ride my KTM 350 yet. I'm itching to do so, but things have just been insane to the point that I feel like I wake up on a Monday morning, I blink, and it's already Friday afternoon, trying to take the weekends to chill with the family, of course. But I do plan on getting on the saddle of this thing as soon as I possibly can. I want to get some graphics on it ASAP, so that way we can really represent, if you know what I'm saying, number 286. That was my race number from back in the day. We're talking to Eric over at MX Graphics. He's going to get us hooked up with a pretty badass OEM style color scheme for this bike to equip the side number plates and the front. I'm thinking we're going to do something on the shrouds as well. I'm not really totally sure. We're in the process of coming up with those graphics. I think they're going to look really awesome.
That thing is freaking loud.
Yeah, it is a monster.
I didn't realize how loud it was.
We definitely lucked out that we found it the way that we did, man. Convict is just such a savage.
When you're standing right next to it like that at full throttle, holy crap, is it loud. Sounds great though. Sounds freaking great.
In a tried true American way, 15 times entries are live through Independence Day, which is also the deadline for Dream Diesel giveaway number 18. This is your very last chance to enter for this one-of-one 2020 Gloss Army Green F450 and this $30,000 in cash. Oh yeah, boys, now we got a nice clean 8-ball. It was a long overdue wash that absolutely just needed to happen. I'll tell you what, man, for sitting as dirty as she has been and for being as used as this truck is, intentionally built, of course, she cleans up real nice. There are a lot of things that I really want to do to 8-ball. We're just trying to kind of fit all of them in. But I'm curious, guys. I asked this on Instagram and now I'm going to ask you on YouTube. If you had commented on Instagram, go ahead and drop your suggestion here below. I will connect the dots. But if you didn't, what else should we do to 8-ball? I have a slew of things in my mind that I still want to accomplish. But what do you think that we need to get done on this truck? I know traction bars are one of them. Believe me, I get that. But what else do you want to see? I just have to go ahead and make the quick comment of the fact that I am so unbelievably impressed with that truck right there. And a huge shout out again to Levon and all of the homies out there in Ohio at Fire Punk. I really appreciate the genuine enthusiasm that comes from that group of guys. They're so down to earth and they're really all just about A, having fun, and B, kicking a whole bunch of ass. And that 48 Fire Punk trans that's in that thing that's sitting nice and gold up in the transmission housing at 8-ball is exactly all of those components. The driveway is very much starting to fill up again in a lot of different ways, but over the next few months, a lot of the scenery up here at the homestead is going to change. A, the trailer's not going to be sitting in this location anymore. It's going to have to find a new home. I don't really know exactly where it's going to go yet. It's not going to go over there because it was still kind of in the way. I'm thinking we're actually going to clear a little path here so that way I can pull the trailer in and around. And for anybody that has a trailer, has ever hauled anything on a trailer, you know you got to plan out your backup. So I'm thinking we could kind of nest the trailer right in this general vicinity. And then it brings us to the actual shop itself. I cannot believe that as I look at my ground, I finally have the ability to use it. I know it's a little confusing or bass-ackwards, but it's very much the process, and finally I have permission to use my own land. So stake 1, 2, all the way over there. 3 is right to the left of the bounce house. We have Jack's birthday party coming up this weekend. And then 4 is right off the tail corner of the wife's Jeep there. We have the building oriented a little bit different than the house. And originally I was thinking of lining them up perfectly straight to one another, but then as I looked at kind of the arrangement of my property, it just didn't make sense. We have this big sprawling open area here that goes back, so we actually canted the building a little bit. So the house will sit like this, and the building will actually sit something like this. So it'll be house, straight on, and then the building will actually be like that. That way the garage doors are kind of here versus being straight on, which will make pulling into the building that much easier. I also think it really just kind of fits the property that much more. I did get a lot of feedback saying you should just line it up to the house perfectly, but in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't really make any sense. And as I envision it more and think through it, I don't really think it's gonna make all that much of a difference. So we are standing here at the front right corner of the building, and you can see it actually comes back to the end of my garage. So we are doing a 30-foot recess from the front of the home, giving us all of this area here, which we don't currently use as driveway or storage, if you will, as what will be driveway and storage. Plus it'll give us runway to navigate all the other vehicles and everything like that around. Now we're standing at the front left corner of what the building will be, and it just goes to show you the size scale of what it will be. This kind of comes to the center of the roof line. We have about a 15-foot, if you do the math on the 30-foot section there, delta in our pitch. Whatever that equates to in degrees is what we're looking at, and that way the building kind of faces this way versus this way. You can tell we have all this stuff up here. I'm trying to preserve as much greenery as possible just to draw a separation from my neighbor. Although I very much love him, he's a great guy, we still bought as much property as we did to have inherent separation and privacy, right? He's actually starting to build his house. You guys can see it back there. I am so happy for him. It is amazing. He's waited years and years and years to get this done. And honestly, it was a big blessing that we all came together at the same time, because he was instrumental in teaching me all the things that I needed in order to actually get this building approved as well. So if you're watching right now, dude, I really, really appreciate you. So finally, guys, I can let you know that the next step in this process is to do a little bit of stormwater management construction. I don't know if that's everywhere, but we have the Susquehanna watershed out here, so it's kind of part of the requirements. And then we actually have to use this fill dirt right here that came off of the property to grade up the elevation for our subgrade. Subgrade, from what I'm learning, and I'm learning through this whole process, so correct me if I'm wrong. Don't punch me too hard in the face or anything like that, but give me a nudge in the right direction. I'm just sharing what I'm learning with you guys and kind of trying to regurgitate it. We have about a 1.5 foot delta between the front left part of our building and the back right part of our building, so we have to bring this entire grade up just a little bit to get everything nice and flat for our subgrade. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 6 inches of stone down, and then we're anticipating roughly 6 inches of concrete and 16-foot high walls. I did have a video where I kind of went over all that. I can link that above if you guys want to check it out. Now, we did actually make some changes to the plans of the building from that video. Since then, I kind of thought through some things, but a majority of it is about the same. It is going to be instrumental for just getting my stuff inside. I cannot wait to not have everything outdoors. I want it to be all protected, and it's really going to change the property dramatically, and I'm so excited about it. It's a pretty surreal moment to sit here and say that we finally have the go-ahead green light, because truthfully, guys, it took forever. But I guess my lesson there is great things happen in time and everything happens for a reason. Sometimes you just have to trust the process and go along day in, day out, although they feel like they drag, because inevitably you're gonna get to where you're going. So that's where we're gonna wrap it up, guys. A super eventful day. Look forward to some fun uploads coming here to the channel very soon. If you haven't subscribed, definitely consider doing so, but no pressure as always. And the same thing goes if you want to get your entries for a chance to win one of one Glossimer Green F450 and $30,000 in cash. Have you ever held $30,000 in cash? It's quite surreal. Just take my word for it.